digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hang on, why have I not bought myself? There you go. I was wondering what I was doing then. Hi guys, and welcome to THFC Till I Die Home Talk at present, and the exciting future, of course, on the Thomas Frank as we give our player ratings to the game last night as we beat Copenhagen 4-0 in the latest round of the Champions League phase, which brought us back up into 7th place. I think we will drop down tonight with the games tonight, but this is only a video, like a live stream where I give my play rating, see what you guys think as well. And yeah, it's just about play ratings, and let's get on with it, I suppose. Look, I want to start there with Vicario. For me, gets a 7. Look, Vicario didn't have much to do, but dealt with everything. An easy night for him. What I liked about him also, his catching was good last night. He seemed to go for everything and caught everything. We haven't had really much of that from Vicario, have we? We've had a few dodgy games with him. But I thought last night was one of his better games. An easy night for him. Didn't have a lot to do, did he? To be fair, it's only Copenhagen, but I think we can all be happy with the win. I think the most he had to do was run the length of the pitch to celebrate the best goal. But yeah, for me, good night for Vic and good confidence booster. Was a bit worried when he went down clutching his hamstring, but that seemed to clear up. Maybe a bit of cramp, but that seemed to clear up pretty well. But good night for Vic and a 7 for me. Porro gets an 8, set up Odebert's goal and was busy down the right-hand side. It was a good game for Porro last night. I thought he played well. Though the thing keeps coming back to me, guys, that he needs a rest. He really needs a rest. And I think this is where, if your dog is now fit and back playing, I think it might be trying to put Jed Spence on the right-hand side to give Porro a rest. But for me, another good game as well. So let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with these ratings, guys. So get your ratings in as well. Let's go back. Let's go to Mr. Van der Ven. and he wasn't captain last night, guys. I just haven't took that off because Romero was back. He was captain. Well, what a goal from Van de Ven. Honestly, um, there's a lot of questions. Was it as good as Sonny's goal? Which one's better, his or Sonny's? Uh, Look, I think both were brilliant goals, but I think his is a little technically better because he started further back than Sonny did. And yes, Sonny had to run past. He, I think Van de Ven had to skip by two players. And yes, the quality of the opposition as well. You have to look into that. Sonny did it in the Premier League against Premier League opposition. Van de Ven did that goal in the Champions League against not a great side, but you can't take away from it. What a goal. What a cracking goal. Goal of the season for me. Busquets award as well. He should be getting that. And my thoughts is, what can you say? Man of the match, goal of the season. That's all you can say about Mickey Van de Ven last night. Really was an outstanding performance. And I think he responded very well for what happened at the weekend too. I think the first week, Vicario, Porro, and him responded very well because they all didn't play well Saturday, and they came out last night with a little bit of something to prove. We're not as bad as you think we are. Um, Look, Romero got an 8 for me. Romero, great to have him. Great to have our captain back. Set up Plunia's goal. Showed great energy. Should have scored it himself. He had a chance to net in there to get a net goal for himself, but I thought he played well last night, Romero. And one thing about Romero being back is that he brings bang to the back four. He brings sort of that calmness we need in that back four. There's no panicking or there's no we're not making rash decisions. And I thought he was brilliant last night. So for me, an 8 for me for Romero. Absolute brilliant performance. I want to say big up to Wayne Bonner, big up to you, Wayne. He says, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're well. And hopefully we'll attack United on Saturday, carry on where we left off. I hope so, Wayne. I really do hope so. But for me, Romero, good performance, back from injury, solid performance, great performance, captain's performance in a way. Led his team how he wants to play. 8 for me. Your doggy as well, coming back from injury. Dino as well. With his driving runs and overlapping Odegaard throughout, brought balance to the left side and to the back four. And he brought balance to the back four as well. I think he did. I think him, Van de Ven, Romero, and Porro looked more solid as a back four than Spence, Romero, Van de Ven, and Porro. I just think they just balance each other off very well. Look, if I was going to give a rating for the whole back five, I would have to give it a 9 because A, you got clean sheet. B, I think they all defended very well. And of course, Van de Ven's goal. And I just think they look more balanced. They look more balanced as a unit. They look more trustworthy. They trust each other more. I think when Danso's in there or Porro's in there, yes, they still look balanced, but there's not the trust. And I think there's a trust there when it's Udogi, Porro, Van de Ven, and Romero. Do you all know what each other's doing? Do you all know what we're going to do? Big up to Leo as well. Big up Leo. Leo Starman. It says, Coy's hi there, man, chat. Big up to Leo. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope you're enjoying your day. Let's go into the midfield tree. Let's start with Benny Bentoncourt. Bentoncourt, for me, press the whole game. Needs to repeat this for the Manchester United game. I thought he played well last night, and I thought he did press the whole midfield last night. He ran that midfield. But he needs to repeat it now against Manchester United on Saturday. It's so important he does that. We cannot lose the midfield batter against them. And I think that's where it's going to be won and lost on Saturday, in the middle of the park. But a good, disciplined performance by him last night. So an 8 for me. Also in there was Papa Sarr. Papa Sarr for me gets 7. Great energy, worked hard. And he did. He did work hard last night. Showed great energy as well. Great, running in the midfield, trying to set things up, trying to be a bit more creative. And maybe he might get stay in the team now again, where he did play well in pre-season and the beginning of the season. He was taken out of the team. That sort of dropped off. That creating sort of dropped off. And I thought he linked up well with Xavi last night. him, Bentancur, and Xavi seem to work well together. Where look, we all know away from home, Bentancur and Palhinha is probably a go-to double pivot, but I think sometimes you gotta stray away from that. And I think we look more comfortable without the double pivot. I think with the double pivot, we look a little bit that we were strangled, like we can't express ourselves. We're sort of we're sort of handicapped or handcuffed, like we can't do what we want to do. But I feel with Bentancur in there sitting in front of the back four, and then with Sarr in the 8 role and then Xavi in the 10 role, we look more open, we look more relaxed, we can attack more. And I think I found that last night. Yes, Copenhagen are the second worst team in the Champions League, but you got to beat what's in front of you. And it's the same thing all the time. You got to beat what's in front of you. And we did that last night. Let's get on to Xavi. I thought Xavi Simons, I thought he played well last night. I think it's one of his best games for Tottenham last night. And I didn't know, I wrote down, worked hard, brilliant assist for the first goal, looked unhappy to be taken off due to Johnson's red card. I can understand why he looked unhappy due to Johnson's red card. I rarely can. But I thought he played well last night. He had a really good first half, was involved in everything that Tottenham did, linked up brilliantly well with Odegaard down the left. What a pass and what an assist. Notice got put the ball over the head of the defender for Johnson to run onto. Whatever the keeper was thinking of for that first goal, I do not know. But then Johnson slotted it in. But I thought Simmons was at the heart of everything we did well last night. Shows he's a quality player, shows he has the talent, shows he is why we paid 50 odd million for him. We just need him to back this up now. We just need him to back this up, keep backing it up, and then we may see the best of him. But I think he was brilliant last night. Absolutely first class performance for me. Brennan Johnson, great goal. Unlucky with the red card, but needs to work harder to stay in games. And I do have this thing about Brennan Johnson. Look, he has the talent. We can all see he's got the talent. I think scoring that goal last night shows he has the talent. That's not an easy goal to take. Not everyone can do that. I think if you're taking a shot from there, you got a 50-50 chance of either hitting the target or it just going wide. But he took his goal well. He waited for the ball to drop, got the ball, ran with it. The keeper came out and did what he had to do, run past it, and did well. And I think he did well. The red card, I thought he was a bit harsh. Look, it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's he tackled, he came flying through in it, and for me, it was unlucky. It really was unlucky. But look, rules are rules. You can't go in with your studs up. It's as simple as that. And did he let the team down? I was reading somewhere else that did he let the team down? I don't think he did. I think it was just trying to go for a ball and he overstretched. And momentum took him into the tackle, I think. But you can't go with your studs up. Once your studs are up, then you're gonna get sent off. It's as simple as that. So unlucky, suspended for the PSG game. I did say last night to Tequila, was that a blessing in disguise? And will that open up something different for Frank to do formation wise away in Paris? Have to wait and see. Big up to Iceman as well. Big up Dermo and everyone in the chat. Big up to you, Iceman. Hope you're doing well. Odegaard for me, 8. Odegaard deserved his goal, worked well with Simmons on the left side, was involved in all good things Spurs did, and he did. He worked extremely hard. Really glad he got his goal. He seemed over the moon with getting his goal. And I like what I'm seeing from Odegaard. I look, James kept saying to me he was out last season. And he's right, he was out for the majority of last season. Now he's getting a run of games. Now he's getting a little bit of match fitness and under a different, maybe he suits a Thomas Frank system. And I like what I saw last night. He worked hard. There seems to be an end product coming with Odegaard now. And maybe we were a bit too harsh on him. I think he'd be another one who's going to come good. But an 8 for me, absolutely brilliant last night. And for me, Colo last night, I said I'm lighting my notes when I wrote down. Should have had 2 goals, but worked hard. Great touch for Odegaard's goal, very unselfish. And I, I'm going to start there. It was extremely unselfish of Colo. If he could, he needs a goal as well. Like he needs to open his account for Tottenham. So he could have quite easily, with the ball going over the top, he could have quite easily just nudged it into an empty net, but he didn't. He took it down, probably get a better angle for himself or to control the ball. But when he saw that the angle was cut off for him, or that there wasn't a chance for goal, he could see, right, I'm going to give it to Odegaard, who's got a great chance to get it in. And unselfishly gave it to Odegaard to score. I wish Richarlison would have learnt that with the penalty, but I'm going to get on to him. But yeah, I was impressed with Colo last night. I thought he worked extremely hard. Starting Saturday, I think he's going to cause United's defence some problems Saturday. I really do. Now to the defence, of course, we've got Richarlison 6, Danso 6, Spence 6, Scarlett 6, Palunia 7. Let's start with, let me get my notes up for the substitutes. Yeah, I write notes now, scripts and everything now. It's unreal. I know. I'm learning. I'll get to the chat in a minute as well. I see a few people come in. I will get there. I want to get these done, these score predictions done first. Richarlison missed 2 chances to score, but the first one came off the bar. Should have let Scarlett take the pen. And that's why I give him a 6. Look, Richarlison, for me, we know he's starved of confidence. We know he's starved of some sort of inner confidence that he's a better player than what he thinks he is. He is a good player, but I just don't think he's got the confidence within himself to whatever, for whatever reason, to show that. Yeah, unlucky with the header coming off the bar. What a crossing for Porro as well. That was unlucky. I think for the penalty, he should have given it. He should have given it to Scarlett last night. I think if your confidence is low, I don't think you should be able to take a penalty. And I think he's desperate. I think he is so desperate for a goal. He's now become, and he's a striker. He's going to be unselfish. He's going to be selfish. He's going to be, I want the ball. I mean, if you didn't give it to Scarlett, should give it to Colo last night, but Colo had gone off at that stage. So, look, for me, that's why I give him a 6, because he was selfish last night. Should have given it to Dean Scarlett, and then that would have been 5-0. So, look, we will, it is what it is, but for me, there's something mentally, well, not mentally, there's a blockage there in Romero, in Richarlison, and I don't know what it is, but something has to give. For Scarlett, for me, made his Champions League debut, worked hard, won the pen, which he should have took. Maybe I was wrong on Scarlett. Now, Rayman, you're going to hear it. Maybe I'm wrong on Scarlett. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe he will make it. Maybe he is. Maybe he's a late bloomer. Maybe you've been right all along. So, um, he did well last night. I was impressed with him last night. But look, it's got a long way to prove if he's at starting 11. But I think that was a good chance last night. That was a good cameo for him last night. Danso came on for Romero, did a solid job. So 6 for me. Paulino came on for Simmons for Johnson's red card, took his goal very well. Solid job for the time he was on for Spurs. And a 7 for me. Absolutely great. Took his goal brilliantly. And I think he deserved that. I think Romero nearly scored. You're thinking, what the hell's happening here? Both centre backs are up in the 6-yard box of the opposition. Is Ange Postecoglou in charge or something here? Is Thomas, as the ghost of Ange, taken over Thomas Frank? You know, you're thinking how high we were playing last night. Yes, it was against Copenhagen, but you know, it's great to see the players playing like that, and that would give them confidence. That would give them a load of confidence for the Manchester United game on Saturday. But guys, that is my play rating. So let me know what you think of the play ratings. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let's go into the chat. See who's here. Big up to Rayman. I'm just amazed. He says he went in for a tackle like that. It was like a different Johnson. Look, I get it. I get what you're saying on that, on Johnson. Where I don't agree is I think he needs to not go missing in games. That's my biggest gripe with him. Yes, he's been poor. Yes, he's been dreadful. And yes, I don't think he's good enough. But if he's willing to work at it and he's willing to put the work in, and he's willing to put the work in on the training ground and improve himself. And maybe somebody spoke to him, maybe some to him, hang on here, Brennan. You've got the talent, you're wasting it by larking around, by being a dumbass, by being a gobshite. You're larking around. You need to pull yourself together. You need to cop on. You need to dedicate yourself to your craft, dedicate to the game you're playing, and become the player you're meant to be. And if somebody has taken him around the shoulder or given him a bollocking or told him you've got to do this, then I think he might come good. He may be another late bloomer, but I think at this time he needs to. For me, he needs to. He just needs to keep at it, keep doing, keep practicing, keep training, and keep dedicating. Dedicate to his sport, dedicate to his job, dedicate to what he's supposed to do in the football pitch. Big up to Rain from the highlights I saw. It was never a red card, a poor decision. That being said, if you're going to put a tackle in, make sure you get the ball. Look, Wayne, you and me and Rain, man, and probably most people in this chat today are from an era where tackles like that were normal. Tackles like that was a tackles like that weren't booked or sent off. I think football is quickly becoming a non-contact sport. I really do believe that. I think tackles now that you get away with, say, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you won't get away with now. Was he unlucky? Look, I said at the time of the watch long, that was never a red card. I think momentum took him into that tackle, if you know what I mean, Wayne. James and sort of Tequila both said, no, I think it was a red card. And look, if you're going by the level, yeah, it was a red card. That's the letter of the law. But also, this is a football match as well. This is a contact sport. This is where you're going to put tackles in. You're going to have to defend. You're going to have to really be tough and come on, really put the foot in. And I think some of these new rules are stifling the game a little bit, personally. But look, it is what it is. It's the years we live in now, isn't it? It's the game we live with now. VAR is king. VAR rules. And if VAR sets a red card, how can we argue against it, rightly or wrongly? I think VAR is running the game. Look, a yellow card, definitely a red card. I still don't think it was a red card. I just think because his studs were up, that was the only reason he was given a red card. But I don't think that was a red card. I think that was a harsh decision. I think momentum. I think sometimes a bit of common sense has come into these decisions. Wayne, I don't think a problem with me, right, with it all, and with VAR in total, with the whole thing is I think it's too led by people that go by the letter of the law. You have to go by the letter of the law. You can't go either one way or the other. And I think in any law, there's got to be a little bit of one way or the other. And I just think last night, okay, tackled, he didn't get the ball, studs up, but was there any malicious in it? Was he really was he going for the ball and he just mistimed it? Was there any? You have to look at different variables. And I think last night, all they saw was studs up. He didn't get the ball, red card. And I think they need to look at it more. And this is where VAR, I think, is ruining the game. I think VAR is really taking it is making football a non-contact sport. And I think it's taking the decision of common sense out from the referee's hand. He looked at that last night at his speed and he thought, okay, it's a yellow card. But when you really slow it down, it looks worse. It makes it look worse than what it was. And I think that's the problem with VAR. They slow these things so far down. The tackle looks 20 times worse than what it is in full speed. So, look, we're going to miss him for PSG. I said it last night as well, Rain, that maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it might make Thomas Frank set up a little bit differently when we go to Paris. But I think it was harsh. I do think it was harsh. But look, it is what it is. Big up to he who dares. A Dale, big up to you. He says, yes, lads, big up to you. He also said he was not that desperate. He's that desperate. He's taking penalties of youth products who've been starved of football because of Richarlison. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you, bud. Big up to Wayne Ritchie. Like confidence is going to get worse if he tries to push scoring a goal. It hinders the team. It's all about teamwork. It is. I totally agree with you guys. I think you're all in agreement there. The iconic thing is being taken, penalty of Scarlett, who was passing to him anyway for the penalty. He actually turned the crowd against him. He did. He did. And I think I really do think Scarlett should have taken that penalty last night. Everyone said it. And when he went up, we all said it in the chat. We all said it in Richarlison. And he missed it. And I fucking idiot. Big up to you, Colin. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you all the time, Welsh, my Celtic cousin. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hi, Dermo. There should be a plaque where VDV start. There should be. What a run. What a goal. Honest to God. And there will be a debate. I will have the debate on this channel. Was it better than Sonny's goal? I'm going to do a poll. Probably not tonight, but the next time I'm on with the boys, we'll have a poll. Big up to Iceman. He was in the controller tackle. It wasn't reckless. Neither did it. And that's the point I'm making. VAR just say, right, studs are up, red card. But if that's the referee, he gave a yellow card decision. He made the decision right. Right. You have to look at it. There's three variables. Reckless, endangering. Was he endangering the player? No. Was it reckless? No. Was he going for the ball? Yes. Did momentum taken sort of into that tackle? Yes. You know, it's a bit like Romero's sending off in the penalty against Chelsea in Ange's first season with Ange. Was it a red card? No. Was it a yellow card? Yes. Did he get the ball? Yes. Did the momentum take him into that tackle? Yeah. VAR again, just being fucking stupid. Also, Dome, I stopped looking at things in slow motion. Cheers, Colin. You're very kind. You're very kind. I think even if he scored, fans would have thought it was poor form, which it was when he had to get. Had he given it to Scarlett to get the goal under his belt, I would have looked at on as a good camera. Yeah, I would have done as well. I would have given him a 7. That's why I dropped him to 6 because of that. I thought myself that was selfish. And you look at Kulu with his goal when he gave Odegaard's goal. Kulu could have quite easily been selfish. Right, it's my goal. I want this, but he took it down. He could have when he was going over the top. He could have just probably just passed it into the net, into an empty net. But he took it down. He realised, right, I can't get the goal. What's my options? Oh, Odegaard's free. I give it to him. He's got a better chance. Give it to his teammate. I agree with you. And Iceman says, I'm a ref myself. Well, you know yourself, Iceman. You referee games yourself. What gets me, I think VAR's taken the decisions out of the referee's hands. You know, if VAR say that's the sending off, the referee can't go against it and say, sorry, it's not. I'm going to stick with my original decision. Because all follow. It's ridiculous. It really is. Come on, got himself involved, hit the bar, and then was selfish for the team as it went all wrong for him. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Common sense has been taken away from ref these days. It's going to become more like table football in a few years. Do you know what? I agree. I have to say though, I'm disappointed in Richie for taking the penalty for Scarlett. Not impressed with it at all. I'm not either. A lot of people are not actually, guys. They will probably ban slide tackle. They will. Football will become a non-contact sport. Iceman, they probably won't let players near each other. So they probably want them to swap shirts soon. Yes, though, mate. He is a defender. So yeah, it is. I agree with you. I think that is better than Sonny's goal. As much as I love Sonny's goal. Look, and I said it earlier on. Sonny's goal was against Premier League opposition in the Premier League. Richard Van de Ven's goal was against lesser opposition in Champions League. But if you look at the two goals side to side, I think Van de Ven's better. Last season, Madison took the pressure off Richie for the penalty before giving him the ball. A great example he failed to follow exactly. Absolutely, Wayne, spot on. And I totally agree with that, bud. Totally agree with that 100%. Be interesting to see who ran faster. Do you know what? I'm going to look for that, Colin. I will look. I want to know what speed it was, by the way. I want to know Sonny's speed and Van der Ven's speed. I'm sure there is something out there. I'm sure there is something out there to find that out. I'm going to look for that. Well, I'm going to speak to Colin and the guys. Maybe there is something out there. Maybe they might find it. But I would love to know the speeds. So that's true. Big up to you. That was one for the scrapbook. I'm not going to do all this comparing the Sonny as a legend is a little bit tricky. I get it. I do get it. But I think, as Colin said, the speed to be interested, the difference in speeds. But look, Sonny's a legend. And I was talking about that last night. And I was asking about is legend too easy of a word to be bandied about? And I think legend is too easily. Sonny's a legend. Harry Kane's a club legend. I think Sonny's a footballing legend. Um, do I think Harry Kane's a footballing legend? No, I think he's a club legend. I think he's a world class striker, but he's a club legend. I don't think he's a footballing legend. Um, that's just my opinion, but I agree with you. Sonny is a legend, and I do also agree with you. It's a little bit tricky. I get you. I think you make a very good point, but the comparisons always the comparisons already being made. So it will be made between the two of them. But yeah, good shout and great to see you in. Actually, who dares now? Great to see you in. Please hit the like and subscribe. Haven't seen you before, so big up to you, sir. Great to see you in. Lovely was to see you in. Big up to Iceman. They've banned heading from under sevens to under 11s, so also bringing in through. I agree with that, Iceman. Iceman. I really do agree with that. I think for youngsters, I don't know where you are with me in this. I think youngsters you have to smaller pitches and make the less complicated for them. Get them to learn the basics, and then as they start getting older, start bringing in the more complex stuff. But I think from under sevens, I think that's a great idea. Ban heading and also bring in 3 versus 3. I think it's right. I do. Big up to Iceman. VDV was quicker, slightly further back. Big up to Colin. Where was the captain to step in and get the Pentascar? That's who was captain? Actually, Romero gone off, didn't he? So who was captain? Mickey Van de Ven? I think Mickey should have stepped in. You're right. 10 years at the club, stuck with us through thick and thin, won a cup with us. He could have jumped ship. Yep, that's so true. Big up to he who dares it. Big up, sir. Great. Thank you so much. I like Mo Salah as well. He's another one there. Hang on. Like Mo Salah as well. He's another one. They're in their own category. But yeah, I agree. I think Sonny and Mo Salah, I think at their peak were in the same category. Look, one thing about Mo Salah, I feel at the moment, I think he's missing Klopp at Liverpool, and I think also things are not right down there either, and I think he's a little bit the oil in the ointment. Should he have gone in the summer? I think he should have done on a high, but he wanted to stay around. He wanted to stay with Klopp, stay with Slot. But for me, out of the two, and I'm not being biased here. I am not being biased here. I'm really not. I think Sonny, on his day, in his prime, is a better player than Mo Salah in his prime. And I'm not being biased here. I do. Look, Mo Salah for me is a brilliant player. He's a Premier League legend. I think he's exceptional in what he does. But I think in Sonny's prime, when Sonny was in the top of his game, and Mo Salah is, I think for the positions to play in, I think Sonny's a better player. But Mo Salah has got this longevity of staying that staying at that high level longer than Sonny. Oh, we'll give you that. And I think he's also, I think last season proved that he's still a world class player. But I just think Sonny just gives you that something more. I don't know what it is about Sonny, and maybe we're a bit blinded. Maybe we're a bit blinded because Sonny was one of our own. He was he's been with us. He showed loyalty. He showed commitment. He showed everything you want from a player He didn't jump ship where Harry Kane did. He stuck with it and won his trophy. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if Harry Kane in his quiet time just thinks, "Hmm, yes, I've won stuff with Bayern Munich. Yes, I've been successful, but if I had stayed on the ranch, if I had given him another 2 years, right, if this, I'm going to give you 2 more years, and then if it doesn't work, I'm jumping ship." If he had given that 2 years, and if he had, would he appreciate his medals more, that medal more than the medals he's got already? Yes, he's gonna means everything to him, but win it with Tottenham, winning it with his home team that he came through the ranks with. Do you think he would have meant more to him? I probably talk about it through the international break actually with the guys, but I just feel that he might. I wonder if that would have meant more to him than yes, the trophies he got now mean a lot to him, but would that been an extra bit special? And you look at Sonny, he won his medal, he won his trophy with Tottenham, and he went at the right time for me. He went on a high where Harry Kane did go, but did he go on a massive high? No, he went on sort of a medium low, and even the even the videos for both players leaving where Sonny was emotional and he was, you could see it in him, his heart was breaking, he was leaving Tottenham. With Harry Kane, it was more robotic, more sort of, there there was emotion, but not as much as Sonny. And I just wondered, did the frustrations with Harry when he left, and you look at Sonny, he won that trophy, didn't he? He was captain, he lifted that major trophy. All his hard work for 10 years had paid off. And I just wondered, did it mean more to him? I will have that talk with the lads. I think it's worth having it, actually, to be fair. Colin said the Scum had a 15-year-old playing yesterday. It won't be long before they'll have. That's true. But to be fair, Colin, he's a very, very gifted player. He's a talent. I've seen him a few times, and I speak to Bobby and Brenny quite a lot, and they very much, they do. They really rate him highly. Yeah, both fantastic. Think Sonny needed Harry. He did, Colin. He did. Wayne, sorry. Sonny fractured his arm during the match against Villa. Wayne kept on playing, scoring the winner on injury time. Like, he did. That is so too. I tend to agree with that. We're likely to be playing that. Harry will likely be playing at 236, 37. Yeah. I was watching a podcast yesterday with um uh what's his name? Former Tottenham manager before AVB, was Blackburn's captain, Tim Sherwood. That's it, Tim Sherwood. And he was saying that about Harry Kane, that even now Harry thinks he's not good enough. He has to improve. He has to work hard. And that's the mentality of Harry Kane. So, do you know, if any Spurs young striker wants an example of what working hard does for you, look no further than the club legend Harry Kane. Keegan won two European Player of the Year with Hamburg. Who remembers that? Same with Harry. Nobody will remember. Exactly, Con. I agree. Big up Rhino. Big up Dermo. How are you? How's the weather? The weather here. Yeah, the weather's here really bad. It's just gone dark. It's just starting to get a bit dark. But yeah, it's been misty and rainy and horrible. And Colin says, agree, Dermo. He is good. Yeah, he is. But guys, thank you for watching. That's it. That is your player ratings for Tottenham versus Copenhagen. I'll be back later at 8, I think, with Tequila and Harry Scarf. I'm going to see if Brenny's around as well. If Brenny wants to come on, or Nick, somebody from from across the road, to get on and talk about Champions League as well, because there is a lot to talk about Champions League wise. But guys, join me at 8 for that. But thanks for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you can, and whatever you do, it's come on, you Spurs. Keep the faith. Keep the trust in Thomas Frank. And I'll always end in this one. In a world full of City, United, and Rovers. There's only one Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.